Cancer seekers. November seems to be a month where a lot of the ascending signs, y'all, are really stepping into their new costume, being their best potential of self. For example, a lot of you Cancerians have really been doing real intense work in the past few months when it comes to how you express love and how you view love. A lot of you confused love with control. Some of you still do, and if you still are, then by all means stay tuned because it will help you get to the next level. But when we confuse love with control, we develop codependency, we develop expectations that aren't necessarily realistic. We not only develop expectations or even put someone on a pedestal, we also get upset when they don't live up to those expectations. And then we get mad at them, and then we become the victim, and it's just a whole game of covert narcissism disguised as empathy. Now I went there. I went a little bit to the extreme side. Watch my 13th element. A narcissist is an empath who had enough. It usually happens to very sensitive people with possibly a lot of water in their chart. You feel things deeply. You go for it. Especially you, Cancer, because you're cardinal and you're brave. Okay? You're emotionally brave. Very inspiring, by the way. So you go for it, you take emotional risks, you put yourself out there, you wear your heart on the sleeve. And because we live in a complicated world that doesn't always follow the heart, you got burned a lot. And then you learned how to do the opposite as a defense mechanism. And then you encounter a young Cancer energy that suddenly you're no longer that empath in pain. Suddenly you find yourself doing that to them. And they have a lot of expectations of you, and they want a lot from you, and you're not sure if you want to give, and you're like, when did the roles switch? When you got so hurt you couldn't deal, and I don't know if you even remember that moment where you're like, I can't. Your psyche was like, I can't. It hurts too much. I need to. And hello, new world, new me. That's the old paradigm. You've come to this change at a time, Cancer, where the universe is so diligent in putting mirrors in front of us and making sure that we see the truth for what it is, bluntly, that you couldn't even go to the extreme other side of the map. You just had to face it and find the balance by going inside, going internal, and realizing how where you also had a part in when things went down, where times in your life where you got really, really hurt and really upset. Now you can suddenly also, this is not to take away from how you feel and the legitimacy of it, but now you've also seen the other side. You put yourself in their shoes. Maybe someone came along that for an instance made you feel in a way like you made someone else feel in the past. Putting so many expectations on you, thinking that you're this and that, and you're like, I never said that, I've never shown that, why do you, and now if I'm not living up to it, then you're mad at me and you're making me the bad guy. It's like, and then it clicks. Oh my God, I used to do that. And here you are in November. Either realizing it or you recently realized it. Wow. Okay. Now I know that love is not control. And it's not that I knew that that's what I thought. It wasn't on purpose. You didn't do that on purpose. The thought of losing, the thought of not being around the people or the person that you love hurts so much because you feel it so deeply. So it was almost anticipated for you. I'm definitely not judging you. But just because you had a good reason doesn't make it right? We already know that. And you're like, okay, so what is love then? If love is, like I used to say, unconditional and always being there and accepting and no judgment, why am I judging the person who isn't certain about me? Why am I judging a person who wants different things than I do? Why am I hurt by it? There's nothing for me to be hurt about. They're just being loyal to themselves, to who they are, to what they are. And they're saying it and they're acting accordingly. I don't even have a reason to be angry. And when you go into that space of full accountability and clarity and emotional bravery and acceptance, true tolerance, true unconditional love, when you give that to the other, to the same type of people that you used to be really, really upset over, that's when you open the portal for someone to come in and to do that for you. Accept you for who you are. Respect your love language. Be there for you whether you live up to the expectations or not. And not passive aggressive be there for you with underlined resentments, but actually. See, you thought to yourself, if it's about mirroring and if it's about, you get what you give. Well, I've been giving a lot of unconditional love. How come I've never gotten it? Have you truly given unconditional love? Or was there passive aggressive underlying resentment portraying to be there no matter what, but actually judging on the inside? They're not woke. They're not aware. They don't know. I know. I'm just more evolved. I'm more spiritual. I'm more in tune with my emotions. And they're just... No, that's not the case. And now you know it. So now that you know it, now love will happen. Cancer. And if you're not in the space yet, and you're wondering, what can I do to actually manifest unconditional love like I give it? Listen to the past 8 minutes again. Just go back to the start and listen to me again. Welcome to the Existential Shift. If you're new, my name is Morgane. I am working with the After Tarot today. Oh, Ace of Cups. Pure true love. Show me guidance, truth, foresight for my Cancerian seekers that I love so much for this month. The Emperor. You either portray the Emperor, aka full-blown responsibility, taking full responsibility and accountability for life, for yourself, or you meet this guy. 5 of Swords. Okay. So there's someone like this in your life and you are uncertain about. Because someone who comes in and is completely accountable and knows what they want, and they look at you and they say, I want you, You're like, whoa, what is happening? It must be, no, there's no way that's real. So you're not used to that. It's not even a matter of self-esteem as much as it's a matter of like learning from experience. Yeah, I know I'm worth it, but it never happened before. So what's your ulterior motive? That, or you have a very judgmental father figure that thinks they can tell you what to do and you're done with it. It's another avenue. Okay, I'm not going to take all these cards because there's a lot of cards that dropped. One step at a time. Show me more about this for Cancer. Magician in the reverse. Don't manifest from a place that isn't sure about what you want. Cancer, if you're not sure what it is you want, don't go into manifestation mode, because then you'll manifest confusion, polarity, and just walking oxymorons / morons. Don't manifest morons. If you're in a state where you know what you want in an idea, but not entirely sure what or who kind of aligns with that, don't try to manifest them. Don't manifest a specific person. When you pray, when you ask, when you do this, don't say this person, X or Y or Z. Manifest the idea, the emotion, what it is that you want to feel, what it is that you want to experience with them, and let the universe bring in the person who genuinely aligns with those characteristics or energies. Because when you try to manifest what you want within someone specific who isn't necessarily aligned with that or even wants it, that's not manifestation. That's energetic dictatorship. We don't do that because it's immoral. There is also a moral code to the spiritual realm, to the energy work, to witchcraft. If you wouldn't go into someone's house and handcuff them to force them to be with you, if you understand inherently why it's wrong, if you wouldn't do that physically, doing that energetically is just as wrong, if not worse, because you don't immediately see the karmic implications. It will backfire at you. A few years down the line, worse. Don't go there. If someone that you thought you wanted is now suddenly enters your life, so-called success manifestation, and you're like, oh wow, from this new point of view, from this new self, you're like, oh wow, that's actually not what I want. Uh-oh. That's a possibility too, but then this is your turn now to be sincere. There could be someone around you, Cancer, that reflects everything I just said in ways of they're trying to get you. This could be someone who wants you, really, really wants you, and they are not accepting no for an answer, and they're going to try and manifest you and pull energetic tricks on you. Hierophant. And that really teaches you a lesson about how it feels in case you used to do it. In case you used to do it. I'm not saying and I'm not judging. I'm just reflecting possibilities, okay? But we have some pretty intense ballers on the table. Emperor, Magician, Hierophant. If someone tried to trick the system in one way, shape, or form, it won't succeed. The system or the law or the status quo will see right through it. This is not someone that tried to trick the system for the sake of survival or they didn't have another choice. This is someone that was just, this is trying to avoid taxes for the sake of avoiding taxes. This is, I don't know, breaking the laws like in a stupid way, like driving too fast without a seatbelt because, I don't know, because you feel like it. things like that. Those things will, that person will be caught. That person will be held accountable. Wow. The Hermit. What is going on with all these masculine gods on the table? I mean, like, gods, I don't mean like to flatter them, but like power players. There's a lot of power players on the table. The Emperor, the Hermit, the Hierophant, and the Magician. These are heavy leaders, heavy ballers that are surrounding you or are within you, and they're all very masculine energies. Even though Magician and Hermit are mutable, it's still, this is all very masculine. There are a lot of people around you, Cancer, who are really, really deep in their thoughts about you, about the past, about how things went down, what they did. They're really tracing events and conversations from a place that is now trying to be more accountable. There's a lot of inner reflection about you, Cancer. Of course, this can always go vice versa, and you might be like that about someone else or about other people in your life, but I feel like there's a lot of people around you, from teacher, boss, father, ex, partners, like from different fields in your life, right? From different types of dynamic and interactions. All of them are looking back as to how they've dealt with you. Very interesting. Like they're really going within and like, I can't believe I did that or said that or took advantage of this, took advantage of that. Interesting. Someone is becoming vividly aware, painfully aware of how they either toyed or manipulated or played a situation and or you. If someone threw you under the bus, like if you were the scapegoat of a situation of some sort, it's really eating the people involved from the inside, like the guilt and the sense of responsibility. I think it might be karma that is starting to like knock on people's doors. And I always find it interesting that people go into regret and realizations and trying to make amends only when it backfires. All right. There's also a lot of things happening here. There's also a lot of high studies, research. You might be in the academy. You might be working on a thesis or something of that sort. Some sort of research. There's a strong sense of research when it comes to leadership. History, communities, social dynamics, the individual as opposed to the community versus the community, the will of the self versus the will of the community. There's an aspect of inner faith versus religious faith. There's a lot of things coming up here. Four of Wands in the reverse. You are starting to really overthink a certain system in your life, the legitimacy of it, the validity of it, whether you are really a part of it. I think there might be a sense of community that is very, very strong that you're not entirely sure that you still belong to. Is this my place? Are these my people? Is this my faith? Is this my path? And you might find yourself thinking about, I don't see you breaking out yet anyway, but heavily contemplating the next move. So far, November seems to be very inner. Show me more for Cancer. For this month. What do my Cancer need to know? Tell me more about this. King of Swords. So many figures here. So many masculine figures. Telling you their thoughts and their ideas and their ideals and their values and how things should be. And you're like 5 of Cups and you're like, ah. It makes you feel like ostracized. Some of you are really carrying like a strong sense of not belonging to a situation or to a place, and like, but the people involved expect you to belong. It's almost like this could be family, this could be religion, this could be, you know, this could be a school, this could be something that you're expected to be a part of, but you don't feel it, so you feel like the and this could be a relationship that is very established. There's something very established here that you have a lot of doubts and you're not sure if you want to be there anymore. And your person possibly is like, what is happening to you? Or your team is like, where's your head? Or your teacher is like, hey, are you paying attention? You know, or your parents are like, is everything okay with you? Is there something you want to tell us? You know, something like that. And it's almost like you don't know how to say it. You know how you feel. It's very deep, it's very intense, but it's like you're not sure they'll understand. Seven of Wands and Temperance. You have to stand up. Stand your ground, Cancer. Be loyal to who you are. Even if it will require some resistance and discomfort, what choice do you have? Your spirit is already like telling you what the truth is and what you truly want and what is right for you. You already know it. Everything else is just doubts that are based in fear and in connectivity. Some sort of, you know, could be a sense of codependency that is very legitimate, because once again, of course, we're codependent on our parents and community and all that. Of course, no judgment. I'm just saying that your spirit wants to be free of it. Here with the Temperance, it's like it wants you to just follow your happy and truly express yourself. And it's like, I think you're just in an environment, I feel like you had something similar last month. Watch October. You had something similar last month where it's just, you're planting the right seeds in the wrong places. And as soon as you plant the same right seeds in the right places, it will blossom and you won't feel so judged or ostracized. There's nothing wrong with you. 2 of Cups. This is driving me insane. And now that I mention it, it will drive you insane now forever. Okay. 2 of Cups right after Temperance. Okay, this is a very... You have some sort of support system. Very loving support system, probably romantic. A close friend, a romantic partner, and if you're single, if it's not a partner, it's someone that comes in towards the end of the month, absolutely once Sagittarius season comes in. Throughout Scorpio season until around the 20th, it's everything I just described. There's a major turning point between Cancer season and Sagittarius season for a lot of people. I see you breaking out of one system and going into a different system that is way more containing of you. This person can contain you way better. 8 of Swords in the bottom of the deck, but I love the 8 of Swords in the afterthought. It's a different one. It's where you feel like someone is really helping you out of an entanglement. It's very sweet. It's not codependent, it's interdependent. We all need help and kind of reassurance. Tell me more about this Temperance, Two of Cups energy for Cancer. We will look deeper into this in the extended, but I want to see a little bit more for my Cancer seekers for the month of November. The Tower. Capricorn had a similar energy, so maybe you want to watch Capricorn's reading, especially their extended, if you're guided to do that. If you're on Patreon, you can watch all of them, so it's not a problem. I think some of you have tried to feel belong into something for a very long time and you didn't, and then suddenly someone comes along and it feels right. It feels so true and so accurate, so by default, it forces the other system to collapse. This could be one relationship replacing another. This could be someone comes into your life and it's so mutual and so sincere and so true to you that it kind of puts light on everything else that is false. So you can't really escape it anymore, so you have to deal with it. You're like, okay, now that I know how truth feels like, and now that I know how being belonged feels like, I can't stay in this place. I can't keep doing that thing. It's like one ray of sunshine just sheds light on everything else, and truth takes over, and you will create changes accordingly. But you have a very good support. You'll have a very good support, someone around you to kind of be there for you as you do it. Okay, Cancer. I will continue this right now in your extended. It will be focusing on love, you and your person of interest for this month. We'll look into the mind space, you and theirs, heart space, yours and theirs, dynamic, how things unfold throughout the month. We will also have a rune reading with my Celtic beautiful runes for your love life. And it's available on Vimeo and on Patreon. I would love for you to check out Patreon because you get unlimited streaming of all the extendeds plus VIP content. It's a monthly membership that you can cancel anytime. So hop on and see how it works for you. Thank you guys for being here. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe and press the bell button to receive notifications. You can now join as a member to my YouTube channel and means of reciprocity. It's $1.99. Also, you can cancel anytime. It doesn't give you extra content. For that, you go to Patreon, but it's just ways of reciprocating for this work. Thank you for all my members that have already joined. I really appreciate it. It shows a lot. It says a lot on you in a good way. So thank you. I see your comments. They stand out more, and in the lives you'll stand out more. So that's fun. It's fun for me. Thank you. So whether you're a member or a patron or you get my Vimeo content, or you're just sharing this and liking and commenting, everything you do really counts, and I enjoy it. So thank you. Okay. Oh, and check out Tarot Masterclass if you truly want to learn how to be a Tarochi. See you in a second.